significant that they did stuff like that. And stuff's happening like that all the time.
A regular meeting of the Delta County Board of Commissioners was held this date pursuant to the following call. The Honorable Members of Delta County Board of Commissioners. Dear Commissioners, a regular meeting of the Delta County Board of Commissioners is scheduled for Tuesday, August 20th, 2024, at 5:15 p.m. in the boardroom of the Delta County Service Center. Sincerely yours, Nancy J. Presrocki, Delta County Clerk.
Your name.
Oh.
We can just do a moment of silence.
Yep. We're going to do a moment of silence today because I left my prayer on the printer.
That's fine.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Commissioner Malmuth,
Here.
Commissioner View,
Here.
Commissioner Crosdell,
Here.
Commissioner Van Genhoven,
Here.
Commissioner Jensen.
Here. Thank you for coming tonight. We'll start off by approval of the minutes of previous meetings. County Board minutes 8/6/24. I need a motion.
So moved.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion passed. Committee of the Whole on 8/1/24.
I thought we did that already.
We did, this is for
Yes.
the minutes. I will make a motion to approve the minutes from the committee of the whole meeting on 8/1/24.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion pass. Approval of the agenda. I know there's some few changes.
Administration received a couple of requests this afternoon. Prosecutor Wickman has requested withdraw the prosecutor internship.
That would be number 3.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes,
To
number
re-
3.
Okay, so to remove number 3.
Yep.
Okay.
So Airport Manager Ransdadler is requesting for 2 agenda items to be added. The first one would be airport grant contracts and authorizations, install runway 119 and perimeter fencing design phase 1 and 2. In commercial apron and snow removal equipment building apron reconstruction phase 1 and 2. So there's 2.
And these are time sensitive that
These
will
are
not
time-
make the next board meeting, correct?
Absolutely,
Okay.
yes.
Okay, I need a motion to amend the agenda.
I'll make a motion to amend the agenda, adding the 2 individual grant items from the airport.
And removing number 3.
And removing number 3, yes, thank you.
I
Support.
need- Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion passed. Presentation of written communications received and forward. There are none.
Excuse me, Commissioner. Mr. Jensen made the motion just to add or to change the agenda, but we didn't make a motion to adopt the agenda.
Okay,
So let's make a motion to adopt the
Yep.
agenda. please.
Let's do that.
okay, so now I need a motion to adopt the agenda.
So moved.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed.
Sorry, John.
There were no communications received or forward. We go on to reports of standing statutory and special committees and others.
So we're none.
Sorry?
There were
There
also
were none.
Okay. Public comment on agenda items. Does anybody have public comment on agenda items? Seeing none, we will move on to committee reports, the administrator report.
I have a couple items to address. The administrative office started negotiations with the Teamsters for 2 of the 3 divisions with the support of Commissioner Jensen, and I'm pleased to announce that one division has reached a tentative agreement, so that will be coming forward. And then also, the remaining negotiations are still ongoing. Both management and union representatives expressed the appreciation for the Board of Commissioners' involvement during these negotiations. I was also contacted by MIDC, and we're gonna currently go under annual financial reporting review of our Indigent Defense Program. I've been working with Jefferson Wells, which is an independent advisory firm contracted by the MIDC. They will be visiting the courthouse. I had previously wrote September 9th, but before I came here, it has changed to September 13th to perform the remaining in-house procedures. Also, I just wanted to thank every participating agency during our countywide training exercise that was at Gladstone High School. I just appreciate the ongoing commitment to training and to keep Delta County safe. So I'm just really glad that we went out there, or everybody else went out there and practiced and learned what we don't know.
Can I have a motion to put the administrator's report on file?
So moved.
Oh, Myra can have it.
Any discussion?
Oh, we need a support. I'll support it.
Well, I figured one,
Yeah,
one or the other.
yeah.
Let's see here. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we move on to Finance Committee minutes of 8/8 of '24. And I think we can do them both at the same time, right? And 8/15 to '24, we had 2 finance meetings.
Yep. So you've noticed we've had a few more finance meetings than normal, and that's actually because of where we're at in the budget process in trying to nail our budget down. The items on 8/8 and 8/15, they consolidated items from the various departments, with them bringing additional information that the Finance Committee requested so that we can make decisions concerning those going forward. One of the other ones, which we will have in front of us this evening, is the updated policy for the electronic fund transfer that takes place within our treasury. The other policy was, well, it's been a while, let's put it that way, quite a while. And that will be, I believe that is other item 7 that we will get to here for our electronic banking policy and procedure.
Can I have a motion to put the Finance Committee reports of 8/8 and 8/15 on,
So moved.
Support.
all in favor?
Aye.
Well, I had a,
Oh,
I just want to
discussion,
make a
sorry.
comment.
Okay.
I mean, if I can.
Yeah.
I've had different people call me that they want a presentation of the budget, but I remember last year it was a good presentation we had on the day that we needed to pass it, which I didn't mind. And I just wanted to make sure that these finance committee meetings is where I should send them to hear the process or not. These are open to the public, right? I mean-
Absolutely. Yes.
I mean,
Yeah,
Yeah, they're open.
it's open to the public.
The,
okay, well, I mean, they were looking for times they could sit down and hear the department heads talk and different people, and I think that's what I missed last year
Yeah.
is that part.
And that is ongoing. The presentation, I know that, I think that you're referencing, that's actually when we get to the public part, before
public
the
hearing.
approval, which is the public hearing portion of the budget. That's where
Do we just have one public hearing, or,
only one for the budget.
and it's usually on the day we
Meeting
pass
before.
it?
What date?
No,
The third.
And then we bring back the budget on the 17th. We don't
17th.
bring back, we put it on the agenda for the 17th, and that's the day of the presentation.
So they're gonna have a couple weeks to be able to, if they so desire, to see what's,
So
I mean, I don't know who's gonna understand it all the time. It's pretty complicated, and a lot of stuff hidden in it, but there are
Let her-
people that are
yeah,
interested in
Let her
it.
explain.
So prior to the 3rd, it is available on our website, and also you can request it at administration, the budget.
Okay,
Thank you.
Appreciate
So the public has time to review it, and they come to the public hearing, we can address their concerns or answer questions and stuff.
Fellow commissioners should see that in the finance
And
folder as well.
then we have the budgets on.
Yeah.
Next cloud account too, right?
Yeah, so you can look at the detailed one.
Can't
And
see it.
everything. Yeah, that's been there
it's
for you
real
guys.
tiny.
Believe me, when it's printed, it's really
Really
tiny too.
tiny.
Yeah, yeah.
Magnifying glass.
Thank you,
I'll
I
get the
appreciate
extra
that.
strong prescriptions out for those.
I moved my bifocals.
Okay, we had a motion, we had a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion pass. Building grounds minutes of 8/9 of 24. Go ahead, Steve.
It was a short meeting. It had to do with UP Talent Council. I think they wanted to have a cubicle of space that they rent from us, so it'd be kind of like a sublease that they rent. And we approved that it would be beneficial for the county and Michigan Works to have them lease that little cubicle. There's a contract, if you look at it, there's all kinds of requirements that they must maintain and what we must maintain, so we approved it, and that's it. And I'll make a motion that we offer that to the Michigan Works to do the UP for Upward Talent Council to have that cubicle.
Can I get a second?
That's actually, it's item
No.
9
Yeah.
that we will
Yeah.
address here later.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
okay.
just need to approve the minutes right
Well,
now.
it's later in the,
Yep.
Yep,
Yeah.
number 9.
Yeah, we just need to approve the
I
minutes.
will make a motion to accept the Personnel Committee's minutes as presented, though.
This is
Building and
building and
grounds.
Or
grounds.
Building and
Building.
grounds, sorry.
I'll support.
Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion pass. Okay, number 4 is Personnel Committee minutes of 8/12/24.
Kelly, we need to hear you a little bit about this one.
Leaving me.
It's pretty simple.
You're the board chair. No, so the personnel committee, met on the 12th, and we talked about, our complaint process, which was a work in progress. However, after our administrator met with department heads, they weren't as receptive to the idea as we thought that they would be, so we decided that, not to fix the wheel if it wasn't broken. So we decided that the complaint process was just gonna be, put to the side.
Well, not really put to the side. We put a word in there.
Oh, right. So we were gonna update a word on our website. Has that been done now? Okay. So that people could have questions,
And
concerns and comments that they can forward to, the correct department if they have issues, and a really easy process on our website. The 360 evaluation that Commissioner View and I are working on for our administrator is still in process, and that seems to be going really well. So hopefully by the time she's up for her next review, we'll have a full, a new scale, a new evaluation form that is more of a 360 approach for our administrator. And then we're also working on the interim employment policy. We did recommend the job description and posting for the intern, but that's no longer happening. And so that's it.
Okay, I need a motion to put the Personnel Committee minutes on file.
I'll move that we put that minutes on file.
Can I have a second?
I'll second.
Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion pass. Okay, number 5, departmental updates. Steve?
Hi, Steve.
Steve Weary, Delta County Parks.
Just a few things I'd like to address the board, just to kind of bring you up to speed, some of the stuff that's been going on. The county forest, all the trails have been mowed, and I double mowed them, so they look like a pretty good road.
Good.
And I can't thank you guys enough for that new tractor and brush hog, it was awesome. I will tell you this, it's the first time I mowed them, there's over 10 miles of trails. So for the public out there, if you wanna go out there and have a nice hike, there's on the eastern side, the western side, and then also in the middle, you can do a lot of hiking. And I can see why the bird hunters actually really like it. Now, I only mowed 2 food plots. I did not know that there was 13 food plots out there neither.
Yeah.
And 2 of them had a lot of clover in, and they were the 2 largest. I did one on the west, one on the east, and they look really nice. The other ones didn't hardly have anything in it. And we're gonna address this at our meeting, I think, next Wednesday, at the advisory board. We gotta come up, I've got some concerns about several different things, and we'll discuss it there. That's what the board is for. Public can have input, and we'll go from there. So anyway, the road going in there is really bad. And so I'm sure that's one of the first topics we'll talk about of spending any money out there, is to either in sections or whatever, to build that road back up. And it can be done. The sign that the trust fund had out there, the big trust fund sign, you couldn't even see it. It was just full of weeds and everything, and so when I got done brush hogging, I removed all of the, kind of the sod berm that was in front of it, and I put it all off to the side. And when we spread a little gravel on that parking lot, now I can just take and brush hog and weed whip up to it nice. Got full view of the sign, so it looks really, really good. So that's pretty much for the county forest. The other thing is the Eagle permit. I did get it electronically submitted, got quite an education. It's a lot of work, and been told it would be, but got it in, and right now it's in the review stage. They did send back 3 correction bullets, basically, and they told me that they would be doing that. And basically what it is, it's not that the application was wrong, the delineation was wrong, but they always want to ask the question, is there any alternative ways to not go into that little pocket of wetlands? So I do got a site visit coming up within the next week with the young lady from Eagle. And so I'll hear what she has to say, and we'll move forward with that.
I guess I have a question with that. They're gonna want to do a site visit now. When we did the initial with the delineation, that was during the wettest time of the year that we had.
Sure.
So that area that was really wet then is not going to be wet now necessarily. So it's gonna be real hard to see, is there an alternate area when areas that would have been wet or could have been wet then are not now? And obviously, any areas that are dry are still gonna be dry. It just seemed kind of odd they would wait, this far into the process to wanna look again.
Oh, government moves slow sometimes. We just be patient. It really wasn't that wet this spring even. There are more depressions. It's not a R3 stream or anything like that.
It's like a puddle.
There's really never any water really standing there. But what I've learned, it's a hydraulic or hydro something, soil.
Yep.
All has to do with their little spoon and the dirt and all this stuff. So I'm getting an education at the same time, and I've actually kind of enjoyed it. But I can see us moving forward with.
I think we're still gonna be on track for the parking lot and gazebo before the end of the season.
I wouldn't say that, because the next leg is, once I get this sent to me, which I just got it and I responded, the clock stops ticking. And then once they get it, it starts going again. So the next phase, they got up to 60 days to look at it, and they took the full 10 days the first time. If I can get the go-ahead, it won't take us long to get the road in to get the sand down, and we can actually build in the winter, as long as the cement is in. So my hope is, but if not, I've got 2 other projects through budgets that we're gonna do either in the spring or fall. So I'll do them in the fall and do this in the spring. And if I am lucky enough, we're lucky enough to get this Eagle permit, then we have to get soil and erosion. Them are the 2 things I promised I would do before anything got done, but I think it's looking real promising. So the other thing I wanted to bring to your attention, and this is actually for any public that might be listening, is I changed a lot of stuff up this year since January, and one of the things that I changed up is we're no longer gonna be taking reservations in March or April, but we're actually gonna start at midnight, December 1st of this year. And then if people that work at a factory or something, they can put their time in by the 1st of the year, and I'd like their business. And we're doing everything in the parks to get them to come, and there's an interest to come. So with that being said, and this is on the website currently, so go to the Delta County website, December 1st at midnight, you can start making reservations online. So that means that any seasonals at Pioneer and Fuller have to be locked in and paid for by November 15th. That's gonna give me 2 weeks to balance everything out with Camp Spot and to make sure all the checks pass. I will let the public know that once it gets turned on to the public for reservations, it's extremely hard to ever get a month, impossible to get a seasonal. So this is gonna be the tradition moving forward, year after year after year. And the one thing that I'd like to mention, because it seemed like this year more than not, is cancellations. We've got a cancellation policy that if you cancel before 7 days, you get all your money back but $15. I've done a lot of research from state parks to other local parks. Everybody's got a little different program, but that's where our advisory board is gonna look at our policies. And I spent 5 hours with Mary Harrington, and we've got about probably 8 or 9 things that we'd like to see changed. We'll see what the board feels. And the one thing I want to let the public know is with Camp Spot, the beauty of it is you can actually take out insurance. You can't take out insurance until I think a few days before your actual visit to the park. It's got nothing to do with the park. It's a subsidiary of Camp Spot. It's kind of like flying. If you want to take insurance, that if something came up and you couldn't go, you'd get your money back. So that's going to go on the website also, because if people looking, if it's going to rain or, you know, maybe someone's going to have some sick kids during that stay, they're all legitimate reasons for leaving, but it's hard to run a business and refund all of this money back at the same time. So we're going to take a good hard look through the advisory board, and we may tweak that a little bit depending on how they feel. The other thing, one of the last things is our spooktacular is the 21st of September. And I've got about half of the donations in. I try to target between 4,000 and 4,500. The public has been very receptive. I'm starting to hit it pretty hard now as I got a month. And the public has been very, very good. It's a lot of work, but it does my heart good when you see 250 kids there. And the last 2 years, every kid got a prize. And then the last thing I'll say is it's kind of a shout out to the Conservation District. They have their annual meeting tomorrow, and it's between 3 and 7, and it's going to be out at the winery in Bark River. They've got some good food. They've got some prizes to give away. You know, I proudly worked for the district for 13 years, and I still support them. And so I'd let the public know as you get a chance to get out there, go out and have a good time. And I thank you for your time.
Thank you, Steve.
Any
Mr. Chair?
questions?
Yeah, that spooktacular, is that just for campers or is that for the community? I'm just trying to figure out how do you get 250 kids out there?
It's just for the camping You have to be registered to a site. The
You get
kid-
that many kids out there?
Well, I'll tell you what happened, and it's
That's pretty good.
of the day, as long as they're registered to that site.
I see.
I would love to open it up to the public, but there's no way I could host it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just-
You do a lot of work out there on
Thank you
that
for
day.
that.
But the reason why I started it 13 years ago is outdoor recreation for families that want to spend time with their kids. And when their kids get older, they'll remember that, and I'm hoping that they'll do the same with their kids. So for me, it is all about mom and dads, grandma and grandpas, and it's all about the kids.
Do you have numbers on the local county, how many used sites there? You don't keep track of that compared to,
I would say for the Spooktacular, it's gonna be mostly Menominee Delta. I get some from Marquette County, but it's heavily Delta County. And then quite a few.
so our residents are using it
Yes.
a lot?
Yes.
Okay.
I've actually heard from more than one person that does that or have done it. They tried very hard to get back to do it the next year because of how good of a time they've had and the memories they've made from that. And some, it's been many, many years that they've gone through it, their kids, and some of them are actually bringing their grandkids. And, you know, as you said, it's a fight to get into the spots, especially as you get into that timeline. But there's people that now make it a point to try to do that, to even be able to have the spot there to do that with their grandkids. So, I mean, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, and I've seen
Legacy.
prizes out there, bicycles, you name it. There's all kinds of,
If it gets so big, is there room for expansion there?
I
don't know what you
that I
have.
want it to get much bigger. but
We'll have to hire an assistant manager.
We could buy some more property, put some more sites in, I guess.
No, I was just, I didn't know if we were,
and Steve,
Maxed
as
out.
always, you got a donation from me for prizes.
Appreciate that. Okay, thank you. And if anybody from the public wants to drop off any toys or donate to it, they surely can. It's September 21. And the one last thing that I do want to say about the seasonal sites, we have a register in the park office at Pioneer. We have a sign-up sheet. So anybody at Fuller and Pioneer, we go down the top of the list of the first people that sign up, and we go through that list until they're filled. We have a maximum of 10 at Fuller, and we have a maximum of 16 at Pioneer, which we've never quite reached.
So if somebody from the public has donations that they want to drop off, where should they drop them off at?
Probably right at Pioneer Trail Park would be the best place if they want to do that. And we have a big sign-up sheet that we post out there the day of the event. And then when we give about 8 to 10 prizes out, we'll go through about a half a dozen to 8 of the vendors. So we give them a shout out again also. And I want to thank the public for their support. Delta County is a great county. So, and just so you know, I pray for you guys all the time. I pray for the Lord to give the leadership to you guys to move this county forward. So,
Thanks.
Thank you.
thank you.
No,
okay, have a good evening.
you
Yep.
Steve?
Any more department head updates? Seeing none? We will move on to general orders of business, unfinished business, there was none. New business is payment of the bills.
I've examined all the claims presented and recommend payment of the following, and that the county clerk be directed to issue orders on the county treasurer to the claimants for the amounts allowed. Grand total of bills of $299,741.07. Commissioner expenses of $555.33.
I'll make a motion to approve the bills in the sum of $299,741.07 and commissioners' expenses of $555.33.
Can I have a second?
Support,
Roll call.
Commissioner Rio?
yes.
Commissioner Crosdell?
Yes.
Commissioner Jensen?
Yes.
Commissioner Vankenhoven?
yes.
Commissioner Melner?
Yes.
Them bills for 2 weeks too?
You guys can pay that.
Okay, thank you. We're so used to just like.
Yeah.
Okay, we will move on to number 2, zoning case number 2-24-PC. Who would like to take that?
I can. This is one that had been ongoing. We had it previously on the agenda on, I think at least one, if not two separate occasions. And it dealt with how the property was being, re-broke up. And one of it, they were looking at, one type of format that actually didn't sit as well with the surrounding community, and the neighbors in there when they went back. And so now that it was originally as agriculture, and now it'll be a conditional use, rural residential. And it falls within the current setbacks that are acceptable. It was just one of those that they had, after they changed the type of zoning that it was going to be to the conditional use for rural residential. The building, or zoning board was actually waiting on signatures from the applicants to be able to go forward on it. Those are present in here now.
Motion to approve.
Can I have a second?
Support.
Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion pass. Number 3. Oh, 3's been, so we move on to number 4. The RFP for aviation fuel supply agreement awarded. I believe we have our Mr. Ranstadler here.
Yes, good evening, members of the board and members of the public. Yes, the RFP that we put out originally for the aviation fuel supply agreement stipulated that we had anticipated making the award decision at this meeting. However, the Airport Advisory Board and I met at our regular meeting this month. We received submissions from 4 separate companies, 4 very competitive submissions. We managed, after deliberation and after talking about it quite a bit, to narrow that decision down to 2 of the 4 companies for our primary recommendation. However, in the interest of really drilling down on the different details of these agreements, because we want to make sure that the county, that the airport is entering into a productive and meaningful long-term strategic relationship. What the airport board has requested, and what I'm coordinating right now, is that we actually have, representatives from these 2 companies come out and physically visit the airport. So we have a special meeting scheduled for next Tuesday. We'll have one company coming out to provide a face-to-face presentation concerning their proposal for this RFP. And then the second company will make their face-to-face proposal, answering questions in details. That will be at the next regular meeting of the Airport Advisory Board on September 9th. And then our intent after that is the airport board would like to make a final decision regarding ranking and recommendations all 4 companies, and then I will carry that information here to the board after we have an opportunity to sit down with those companies and ask them a lot of questions. That's the plan that sits right now. So I'm not here to provide a final recommendation or an award suggestion. Rather, I'm just here to inform you that we'd like a little more time to consider the different alternatives.
So just a table.
So I need a motion to table.
So moved.
I'll support.
Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion passed. Number 5, airport general services administration lease.
Yes, so as many of you are aware, we of course have a complement of TSA agents who work at the airport and do a fantastic job. The GSA, or the General Services Administration, is the branch of the federal government that works on behalf of different agencies to secure leases and land use agreements and things of that nature. We currently have a lease agreement with the GSA so that we can be paid by, the airport, can get paid by the federal government for the spaces that the TSA occupies. And what had happened as a result of several administrative changes at the airport that happened in conjunction with or very soon after the management changeover last fall is we made some moves between the county and the airport to consolidate some of our accounts. One of the accounts that was consolidated was the SAM account. It's the Systems Award Management System that the federal government uses to track and sometimes distribute federal dollars to different entities for various reasons. So basically, that's how we receive our rent money from the GSA. The account number that the airport had been operating under expired and extinguished in favor of us moving towards being consolidated under the county's SAM account. We knew this was a premeditated move, we had planned for it, and I informed what I thought at the time was all the necessary agencies, the TSA, the FAA, all the agencies that we received payments from. It was unbeknownst to me at the time, though, that the GSA were the ones that specifically handled this. The TSA did not relate the information to the GSA, and consequently, what happened is we stopped receiving the payments for the spaces that they were renting to us. They were sending the payments out, but we were not receiving them. They're all done electronically. So it went under our radar and unnoticed for about 2 to 3 months. Once I discovered the error, I reached out to the GSA and I informed them of the situation. And the result is this amendment before you, which the purpose of it, what it does is it changes this account number so that we can resume receiving payments. Once this is approved, the GSA will reimburse us for all the backdated payments that we have missed, and then they will resume making the regular monthly payments on a regular basis.
Move to approve. I just made a motion to approve.
I need a motion to approve, and Kelly,
Support. I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Are we getting $41,000 back? Is that?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. I just want to make sure I read it right.
any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion passed.
The one thing I will add, just so you're aware of it, Commissioner Melner, is the method in which the GSA would like this executed is through DocuSign. So they already have your official contact information as well as the county clerk. And after I call them tomorrow morning and email them, they will be sending you the electronic notifications through your work phone, your work email.
Okay,
And when you sign that, it'll automatically forward to the county clerk, who will sign as the witness, and that's how we'll actually electronically execute the agreement.
okay, sounds good.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Number 6, the Delta Regional Child Advocacy Center lease.
Presented today is a lease that was brought forward to the Finance Committee regarding the CEC building. Highlights of this lease agreement compared to the prior agreement is we are requesting that they pay their own utilities. We're gonna stay consistent on the zero rent for the next 3 years. Currently Delta County is paying the utilities, so they're gonna take that over. And the contract is similar to our Upward Talent Council lease agreement, which was reviewed by our previous prosecutor, Brett Gardner, so.
Okay, so I need a motion to approve the lease.
So moved.
I'll second.
I like the,
Any discussion?
well, basically, are they okay with this? I mean, how much is the utilities average? Do you have some idea?
I wanna say it was only like a few thousand, $4,000.
A year or so,
Yeah.
zero payment.
I
for-
did send all of, prior, utility payments that we did for the past couple of years to them, to let them know so they can budget for it. And I did inform, Sarah Sorensen, who is the director.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure they weren't thinking of moving some other county or something, you know?
No.
No.
What was the reason that we had been taking it on as a county versus now them paying for their own? Like, was there a reason why we were paying for it?
So, CEC used to be run through the prosecutor's office.
Okay,
They became an outside department. They ran under still the umbrella of the county for a year, and then they went on their own. During that time, we just set up that we would pay the utilities because their grant process had already started and they already
Okay.
applied. And the reason why we're looking at, with the zero rent is due to their grant also, so.
okay, thank you.
Yep.
Okay, we did get a motion, second. All in favor?
I
Anybody opposed? Motion passed. Number 7, Treasurer's Electronic Banking Policy and Resolution.
As Commissioner Jensen said earlier, our prior electronic banking was quite outdated. So our treasurer, Sherry Godfrey, went through the policy, updated to our current procedures and practices that we have now, and we're just looking for approval from the Board of Commissioners.
I'll move that we adopt the new policy. for
Support.
Electronic.
Any discussion?
Sorry.
Hearing no discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion passed. Number 8 is closed session. Attorney
What?
opinion, MCL 15-268H. I need a motion to go into closed session.
Need the other verbiage. It's section 3. Is that what the subsection is?
No, MCL 15.268H.
Yeah.
Okay, well then I'll make
That's
the
the
motion for us to enter closed session, under MCL 15.268 subsection H.
Can I have a second?
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Need a roll call?
Call.
We need a roll call of aye.
Yep. Commissioner View,
Yes.
Commissioner Croswell,
Yes.
Commissioner Jensen,
Yes.
Commissioner Van Ginhoven.
Yes.
Commissioner Melner.
Yes.
We all say.
Okay. No. They stayed on. They stayed, yeah, they shut off on the other side.
We have a curtain call already.
Yeah.
Oh, did I shut them off? I'm trying to be conservative here.
Okay, we need a motion to come back in the session.
So moved.
Support?
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion passed. We're back in session. Okay, on,
Not to come back in.
okay, on the, closed session, on attorney option MCL 15.268 sub,
That was what we-
8.5.
Yeah, that's what we
we
just
was on,
covered.
So we gotta go to 8.5.
Yeah,
Okay.
8.5 is next.
there was no decision made in there. We will ask for a motion now.
I will make a motion on to deny the FOIA appeal of the Sheriff's Department number 24-40, and that's due to the content and the serious nature.
Can I get a second?
I will second that.
Support? Can I, any discussion? None?
Pretty clear.
Can I have a roll call vote?
Commissioner View,
Yes.
Commissioner Crosdale,
Yes.
Commissioner Jensen,
Yes.
Commissioner Van Ginhoven,
Yes.
Commissioner Melner.
Yes. Okay. We will move on to 8 point.
No.
Nope,
Oh,
9.
nope,
9.
okay, that's right. Number 9, Upward Talent Council, Sublet Small Business Development Center.
As Commissioner View talked about earlier during our building and grounds, Upward Talent Council is requesting to sublease a small cubicle in their area to small businesses development centers. Attached is the lease agreement or the sublease agreement, and I will be needing Commissioner Mullner's signature if approved.
I'll move that we support the sublease for Upward Talent Council as the document to be signed.
Can I have support?
Support.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion passed. Okay, we will move on to number 12, general public
No.
comment.
Grants, 10 and
Grants.
11.
Oh, grants.
We added 10 and
We had-
11
yeah,
about
10
the
and
two
11.
Oh,
grants.
that's right, sorry, I
That's
didn't
all right.
write it down.
That's okay. Airport grant.
Okay,
Grants are good.
Good evening again. So, I do apologize because I did not want to appear before this body at the 11th hour asking to have something approved such as these grants. However, my unfamiliarity with the process contributed to where we are now. I received notification of these grants, these grant agreements last Wednesday afternoon via email. I had never seen the email before from the FAA in this particular format. I was actually suspicious of it. I thought for a while it might have been a malicious email, very cleverly constructed to look like an FAA email, so it took me some time to go through it. But the bottom line is the way this grant process works. I think some of you are probably already familiar with it. I know that this body, although it may have been composed of different members in the past, has gone through and approved these agreements. But these are standard grants, the format of which is something that the airport typically goes through on an annual basis. These are the agreements where we receive federal funding to continue forward with capital improvement projects at the airport. Between these two agenda items, you have two grants. They're very similarly numbered. The first one is 3-26-0031-052-2024. The other one has a 053 in it. The first grant, the 052, is for the replacement of essentially airfield guidance and lighting systems. The acronyms are PAPI and REAL. And that's a precision approach path indicator and runway end identification lights. And rolled into that grant as well is perimeter fencing, where we want to replace about 2,000 feet of our perimeter fencing. It's the fence that extends primarily between us and the wastewater treatment plant that belongs to the city. Basically, the fencing's too short. We have an issue where animals and wildlife jump over the fence routinely. We have to get them off the airfield, so it presents a hazard. The second grant, -053-2024, is for the reconstruction of our commercial apron, which is the pavement, the tarmac immediately north of the main terminal, where all of our aircraft, including our commercial flights, park on a regular basis. That's very important to us for a number of obvious reasons. In dealing with these grants, this is the first pair of grants as the new airport manager that I've had a chance to go through from start to finish. I've gone through the pre-application process, working with our consultant in the FAA and the application process as well. I had anticipated getting a lot more notice of these grants actually being, me being able to present them to you, but basically we have a 14-day window to get these electronically signed and returned to the FAA. And one of the stipulations is that after you provide me the authorization to do it on behalf of the county, then I have to get with Attorney Wickman, and we have to sign it essentially within 24 hours of each other and send these back. So I've already started coordinating with Attorney Wickman on that, so we can make that happen. But did anyone have any particular questions about these grants?
We'll make a motion on the first one. We'll do two motions.
Okay.
Can I have a motion on 3-26-0031-05,
Two.
2-2024? I need a motion on that one?
Move to authorize, correct?
To authorize?
Yeah, to
Yeah.
authorize Rance,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
our airport administrator,
And approve the contract.
and to approve the contract.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have
That's
a
my
second?
motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Well,
Oh, you got a question?
this is for us to get money. We're not spending money, right?
Right.
And
It's a
did the
We have a
airport
match.
advisory board go through all this and it's all okay with them too? I mean,
Yes, this is part of the standard planning process, our 5-year improvement plan. So we routinely, it's my responsibility to routinely brief the board and keep them appraised of what we're doing as far as our planning is concerned. And yes, this paperwork and these agreements do permit us to receive money, but it's more of a matching agreement. The federal government provides the majority of the money. So in the case of the first grant, the total cost is a little over $45,000. The federal government, for example, will be providing a little more than $43,000. We essentially, at the local level, are responsible for 2.5% of the total project cost. But the $1 million that the airport is afforded every year that we're eligible for in federal grant money, because of our EAS contract and the nature of employments we have, this is part of that money. There's also other appropriations and other money built into here, but it's mostly federal dollars that will be coming into the airport.
okay, I just want a little bit of reassurance. It's 40 pages and it was just given to us now.
And again, I
And
do
have not
apologize, and
looked
I-
at it whatsoever.
Yeah,
and
that is not, I completely understand, and that is not the way I like to conduct business. This will hopefully be a one-time thing. In the future, I'll have a much better understanding of this process, how it works, and I'll be able to afford you all very much advance notice on these agreements.
I would probably vote no if it was the other way around. We had to give 40-some thousand, but if it's, well, I mean, so at least it's a little clearer on what I'm voting on. So I appreciate that. And they're both the same. Both are similar to
Just
what,
different numbers.
okay, all right.
Different things,
Different
numbers,
items, but
Yeah.
they're
it's
both.
No, no, I
the
know.
same process, yeah.
On the first one, on the grant agreement, I need a vote.
We already
All in
got the-
favor?
Yep.
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion passed. Okay, we're gonna move on to number 11. And that one is 3-26-0031-053-2024. And I need a motion for that agreement.
I'll make that motion for our airport manager to be able to approve that grant.
Can I have a second?
Second,
Any discussion?
How much is this one? I haven't read it, so I'm just, I mean, how much are we getting?
So the second one, the one we're making the motion on right now, 053, this one is less, I want to make sure I get that right here. Yes, this one, I apologize, this one is actually more total overall project cost. The total amount would be $225,000, a little over $225,000. The federal appropriation will be $214,000. And what we will be on the hook for locally is $5,643.
I wish I could get deals like that sometimes. It's pretty good.
Okay, all in favor?
aye. Thank you.
Anybody opposed?
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Motion passed.
Thank you, I appreciate it. And again, I apologize for the short notice. Will
You're
not happen
fine.
again.
We'll remember this next year, though.
Okay, now we go on to general public comment. General public comment. Going once, going twice,
Maybe I better go.
gone. Commissioner comments. Commissioner Crosdell.
Yes, again, thank you all for attending our meetings via YouTube and in person. Just a couple of things, just to be a reminder that the yellow buses are gonna be back on the road with our kids in them. Hope they have a very good new school year and have a safe and wonderful year. And also have a safe and happy Labor Day weekend. Be safe.
Commissioner View.
Okay, Mr. Weary already talked about that. John, I'll let you talk about that. Well, I just bring information that I figure people would like to know. I attended Pinecrest House Committee meeting. We've worked on a process of evaluating our administrator, so that's a project that the board is gonna be looking at. In case anyone wants to go, we have a meeting on Thursday at 3:00. I also want to announce that I was defeated in the primary, just to let everybody know, because I've talked to different people that haven't even heard it yet, so you can see how much people pay attention to government. It's not a bad thing. I'm still the commissioner till the end of the year, and I'll have more power once I'm not on the commission to say more things that I normally probably wouldn't want to say as a commissioner. So there's good and bad both ways, so I just figured I'd make that announcement so everybody would know. Also, since I don't have much more to say, my district, Gladstone and Escanaba Township, is the Sioux Line Railroad was the biggest reason why Gladstone's there. And I just wanted to let everyone know, Upper Peninsula Homecoming Sioux Line Historical and Technical Society will be having a convention in this area from people all over the country. Will be coming here in September 12th through the, 15th. And there's a lot of prominent people in the community that'll be speaking to this group on our history of Delta County, basically Gladstone, my district. And I just wanted to let everybody know that they will be visiting Gladstone, Escanaba, Bonifant Arts Center, the Lighthouse, the rail car repair shop of Mr. John Larkins that I went to. That is an amazing thing to go through. The old rail yard over in Wells, the Sioux Line steam engine in Gladstone, and hopefully we can get them to do a little wandering down Main Street in Gladstone and support some of the businesses. So, and they're gonna have the steam and gas engine grounds open at 12 o'clock on Friday. If you need any other information, just get a hold of me and I can fill you in on anything that, if you're interested in. You gotta remember that not everybody likes trains, just like not everybody likes camping. But all the things together is what makes your county great. So I just thought I'd bring that up tonight, so thank you.
Commissioner Kelly.
Yes, let's see, where would I like to start? I attended our regular monthly meeting of the Planning Commission. We welcomed our new recording secretary, Kasha Nelson. She also sits on the Escanaba City Planning Commission, so she does sort of serve a dual role. Our monthly meeting of the opioid task force, we're moving along with our application formation. We have a great group of people that sit on that board. Commissioner View and I sit on it as well. I would encourage the public to attend these meetings if you haven't yet. They are the first Friday of the month at 10 a.m. here at the Service Center, and we discuss a lot of important topics. And I would just like to commend Commissioner View because he reaches out to a lot of different entities to get free information, and he's done a great job with that. So thank you for all you do for that board.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. September 2nd at the Municipal Dock in downtown Escanaba will be the Trades and Labor Day celebration. It will start with a parade at 12 noon, meeting at the Farmers Marketplace, and then ending at the Municipal Dock. There will be bands, food trucks, beer tent, a Bloody Mary bar. Woo. Raffles, bounce houses, a petting zoo, and this is a great opportunity to support our local unions and thank them for everything they do in our community. I would like to thank Corey and Rich and our Buildings and Grounds crew and Rebecca Kranz at MSUE. The water is back on at the community garden. It was a great collaborative effort. We were able to get it done way under budget, and it is greatly appreciated by the people who rent plots at the community garden. So thank you for everyone who was involved in that. And that's all I have. Oh, and I'd like to thank Vicki Misha and Matt Velikit at UP State Fair for an excellent fair this year.
Okay. Commissioner Johnson.
So other than the ones that we sit on together, I'll touch a little more on the fair today. Unfortunately, because of weather, was the biggest part in the press release that was out. I think our total attendance was down about 4% this year. So I think it was right around just under 10,000 total people visited our fair. The weather played a part. We also know there was the other portion up until almost the last minute on what we could have for animals even at the fair. And one of them, as most seen if they like to go through the Miracle of Life building, this year, unfortunately, we were unable to have any lactating cows. And so that means you don't get to see live birth of dairy cows, which is one of the items that, if you haven't been there, I will tell you, it is literally standing room only and many people deep that want to see that process. And unfortunately, that wasn't able to be there this year. So I think there's a combination of things in there that also, things are a lot more expensive too. So our attendance was down a little bit. Again, I think they put on an amazing year. They did a lot of work going into the year. And one of the things that was new this year was the Fair Authority actually had a creative position of an isolation liaison. It sounds like two big words all at once. Basically what that was is I was asked to fill that role, and if they had an animal that was sick, we have a place that they can isolate it at the fairgrounds, and the exhibitor would then stay with their animal, and it wouldn't be right next to all the other animals, so the other animals wouldn't have to, the potential for the other animals to get sick is greatly reduced. So that was something that was actually new this year, and I will say, very fortunately, we did not have to actually activate or use that plan to isolate any sick animals. And again, earlier, as our administrator stated, there was a very large exercise that went on today with I'm trying to remember what they said in the briefing this morning when we started. First briefing was about 8:30 this morning. There was an amazing amount of agencies involved in that exercise today. And those are all people within your community. I can tell you there was various state agencies involved. The amount of volunteers that were there that are part of Rescue Task Force. This is the first time that we've done a full live rehearsal or practice. And I think one of the things, especially when you see teachers and stuff come in, and, they're not getting paid. School hasn't started. And for them to come in and be part of the process today was, it was amazing. And to see how many came. And I would really hope one of the things going forward with this is not that, we're going to continue the training. We're going to get better. There's always lessons learned no matter what training you do, but it helps give those individuals in schools and some of the other facilities that will continue to train in a little more peace of mind and confidence that if something ever were to go bad that way, the help's coming. It's not a matter of, okay, I called 911, is someone coming? You know somebody's coming, and you know what's coming. And I can tell you, it's a lot of resources very quickly. So that should hopefully give peace of mind, especially those in education. Part of the rescue task force, it's not just for active shooters. It's, if you have an accident with buses, that would overwhelm our emergency system here. I mean, as far as even first responders. So the rescue task force is actually a supplement to be able to help those individuals to be able to manage that. So I think it's an amazing program, and they're volunteers from your community. So a big shout out to them again today. They did an amazing job.
I think that needs to be done.
They did. No, they did an awesome job, didn't they?
Deputy Clerk? Administrator Young?
Well, actually, I also, turn on my mic, wait, or microphone. I also want to thank, you mentioned the volunteers, but we had just several citizens volunteered to be victims or the assailants in the activity. So I know we were approached in Delta Force to ask to volunteer. So I just want to thank all those people that stepped up and helped Delta County and all the local agencies, the schools improve, so.
Were there
And
any casualties? I mean, did they, I'm just.
I didn't,
What do you mean? Were there patients?
Somebody got shot or something, I mean, or was it?
It was-
just-
It was simulated an active shooting, and yes, there were real people that were playing casualties with various injuries that were made up for the GO team when they first go in and assess and triage individuals. They actually did that whole process. And then the next phase of the rescuers actually evacuating those individuals out into a treatment center to be reevaluated and then moved off. That's where that portion ended. We did not actually send anybody out to hospitals or anything. Yeah.
I'm very pleased that all these agencies gathered together to go through this training. Hopefully, we never have to use it, but at least we,
Yeah.
we're not gonna be caught not going through the mechanisms, so.
Okay, well, it was pre-COVID, I worked at the ISD, and we did have a active shooting there too, simulated. And I'll tell you this, I was in the classroom with the kids, and when they started shooting those blanks, those kids were just scared, unbelievable of what could happen. So, since then, they've really upgraded their showing on this. Second, the Center for Youth and Wellness is having an open house, and that is Thursday, August 22nd, from 3 to 7. So there's two things going on. You got the Conservation District going on, and you got the open house at the Center of Youth and Wellness, and that's over at Bay College, and it's room CB 231. And,
John, tell them that's free services for.
yes, it is free services, and they are also doing, physicals for kids in school, free. So all the kids' physicals are free for their programs. On the road commission, Jody was not there, and they did an update. 85% of the township projects are being done. As of probably now, they're probably done. That was about 2 weeks ago. And from there, they're working on Michigan, on update, or MDOT projects, where they're cleaning up all the highways and everything else. So they're doing, trying to get caught up on some stuff. Other than that, I have no more comments. Meeting schedule, Finance Committee meeting is 8/22 at 8:30, room 222 of the courthouse. Personnel Committee meeting, 8/26 at 11 o'clock in room 222. Our regular Board of Commissioner meeting is on 9/3/24 at 5:15 right here. Notice of 30-day appointments. There are none?
Can I ask a question about that real quick? Did we get any response from the Veterans Board?
Yes, we have received a few applicants.
Okay,
Tracy's figuring out the districts, so we know which ones, but one of the items, she had brought up forward to me was a couple of people from the council, the current council, have not applied, so we wanna make sure that they are aware to
Okay.
send in their applications.
okay.
Yeah, they'd be a
Alright.
good resource as well.
Yeah,
We just thought it was just strange.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Okay. I need a motion to adjourn. I need a second.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting's adjourned. 6:30.
You guys were just gonna hang out for here for a while.
Yeah, that was.